Manchester United considering shock deadline day pursuit of Ivan Toney. Manuel Ugarte undergoing his medical right now. And Jadon Sancho, Juventus offer. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this morning's show. But before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And let's get straight on into it. Right. Let's start the show off by talking about something positive, because we can confirm that Manuel Ugarte is currently at Carrington undergoing his medical as a new Manchester United player. Apparently, he has to be registered by Friday lunchtime in order to be available for the game against Liverpool. Now, I see no reason why that can't happen. Obviously, if he's doing his medical now, he'll probably do all his, marketing pictures, his interview, all of that stuff today. I imagine it will probably get released tomorrow morning. And then on Friday, obviously, he can be in training. Thursday, he can be in training. And then will be available in the matchday squad for the game against Liverpool on Sunday. Will he start? I don't think so. I think it's incredibly unlikely. But you never know. Maybe he's 100% fit and ready to go. But my guess is probably not. Because you have to remember, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's not been part of the PSG squad. They've had him training separately away from the first team. He's not been part of any of the matchday squads either. So he hasn't played a proper game of football since the Copa America final, which was maybe a month ago, 2 months ago now. My brain's gone at the moment. I think it was in July, I think. Yeah, the 15th of July. So yeah, it's a long time ago. It was, did they even get to the final? No, they didn't. Uruguay. So the last time he played football was on the 13th of July, which was, 5-6 weeks ago. Obviously, he's been training, but he's not been training with the first team and he's not been part of the matchday squad. So 6 weeks of no football is quite a long time. Effectively, he hasn't really had a pre-season. So I would be honestly stunned if he starts that game on Sunday. I'd be shocked. You know what? I don't want to say it, but there is even a chance that he might not even be on the bench, maybe. If he hasn't played football for 6 weeks and he's probably going to only have trained like 2 days this week, do Manchester United turn around to him and say, you know what, go off and do the international break and then come back after that? I don't know. I would love to see him part of that game. I think, even if he just came off the bench in the final 10 minutes just to either help us hold a lead or, try and offer us something going forward. I don't know. But we'll wait and see what happens with that one. But the main thing here is that Manuel Ugarte is doing his medical. So yeah, that's really, really positive. And I cannot wait to see him in the Man United shirt. I think he's going to be an absolute legend for the club. I think he's exactly what we need. So yeah, Raheem Sterling though, that's the next topic I want to talk to you about. So this is coming out from Sky Sports in the last couple of minutes that apparently the possibility of a Sancho Sterling swap deal is now being seriously considered by both Manchester United and Chelsea. Apparently Dan Ashworth went to London yesterday to meet with Chelsea to try and iron out a deal. Apparently Dan Ashworth really wants Raheem Sterling, and I've seen a lot of people be really negative about this, why are we getting Raheem Sterling, blah, blah, blah. If you look at the stats over the last 2 or 3 years, Raheem Sterling's been better than any of our attacking players. And that's a 29-year-old Raheem Sterling playing for Chelsea. If you look at Raheem Sterling over the last decade, he's been one of the most prolific wingers in the Premier League for the last decade, obviously at Man City, Liverpool, and now Chelsea. He averages a goal or an assist every other game, if you look at all of his games over the last 10 years. So he is definitely a good player. I have no doubt about that. My preference has always been, though, for Jadon Sancho to be sold. I think if we can get the money for him, then we should sell him. But we can't always get what we want. If no one's willing to pay us for Jadon Sancho, and no one's even willing to do a loan with an obligation to buy, then the only option we really have is either 1, swap him for Raheem Sterling, or 2, we loan him out and then next season he comes back. This time next year, he comes back, he has 1 year left on his deal, and he probably says, you know what, I'm just going to run down my contract and leave for free. And for me personally, that's a massive no. So this is coming out from Sky Sports that apparently Juventus are offering a loan deal with partial payment of Jadon Sancho's salary and a small loan fee. I mean, if we do that, we're absolute idiots, I'm sorry. So they're not only saying we're not going to have a buy option, they're not even offering a buy option. They're literally just saying, we'll take him on loan and we'll pay some of his salary and you can pay the rest. And that's it. Take it or leave it. I mean, for me, that's just a massive no. I would rather send him to the under-21s than do that. It just makes no sense. And that's why I think this Sterling swap deal thing seems like a relatively good idea if the alternative is sending him to Juventus for a season and us have to pay half of his wages. And then in 12 months' time, he comes back and he's still our problem. Like, that doesn't make logical sense. But apparently Manchester United aren't willing to do that. Apparently Manchester United will reject any loan deals for Jadon Sancho. It has to have an obligation to buy or the swap deal. So those are the kind of two options we've got at the moment. Now, is there a world where once Juventus sell Chiesa, they say, you know what, we'll give you 30 million for Sancho or 40 million, maybe. But at the moment, it seems like they're really, really pushing for this loan deal. They obviously think Man United are desperate. They think they can get themselves a bit of an opportunity on the market. And we've got to stand firm. We've got to say to them, you know what, we're not going to do that. Either you buy him, or you give us an obligation to buy, or there's no deal. And I think that the interest from Chelsea has kind of helped our situation here, because at least we now know that there is genuine interest, you know, from other clubs. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. But at the moment, I would be honestly stunned if Man United accept this loan offer. I think it's stupid. I think it makes no sense, but we'll wait and see how that one progresses. And then the next story I've got for you today is on, where are we? We spoke about Sancho. We've spoke about Sterling. We spoke about Manuel Ugarte. Ivan Toney. So this is coming out from a couple of different people this afternoon. Manchester Evening News, a couple of other newspapers here in the UK, that apparently Manchester United are plotting a move for Brentford striker Ivan Toney. Obviously, we know Chelsea are interested in him, but Chelsea apparently are going for Victor Osimhen, so he probably won't go there. And then the only other club at the moment who are kind of trying to get Ivan Toney is Al Ahly in the Saudi League. I would love Ivan Toney at Manchester United. I think we desperately need another attacking player. And if there was a world where, you know, we could sell Jadon Sancho now for 30, 40 million euros, say, and then go and buy Ivan Toney for 30, 40 million euros, I would do that in a heartbeat, because I think he would offer us something we don't currently have. Rasmus Højlund is still learning. He's still developing. He's not the finished product yet. Xerxes, for me, is, as he says in his own words, a 9.5. He's a hybrid between a 9 and a number 10. We don't really have a mature, experienced out-and-out striker. You know, Rasmus Højlund did a great job last season for Manchester United, and I really, really like him, but I'm not convinced we can 100% rely on him for our goals this season. Maybe in 2 or 3 years we can, but at the moment, I think we do desperately need goals from somewhere. And I think, you know, you add Ivan Toney to that team. Think back to the Brighton game last weekend when Dalot played a cross that was one of the most nicest crosses I've ever seen, and Ahmad had an open goal, but for whatever reason, he was too scared to use his head and he tried to kick it and he skied it. Like, that should have been a goal. If that was Ivan Toney, you would score that, you know? And that's no criticism towards Ahmad, by the way. He's, a 20-year-old who's just learning the game, whereas Ivan Toney's been a striker his whole career. He's 28, I think. You know, he's been around a long time. And I think, you know, if you throw someone like that into the mix, it really does give Erik ten Hag more options. And I think going up front, we have looked more solid in the midfield and defence this season, but still going forward, we're not finishing our chances. We've got the highest XG out of any Premier League side at the moment, and we've only scored 2 goals. We've missed the most big chances out of any team in the Premier League so far, and we've only scored 2 goals, you know? Man City won 5-1, but we've still got a bigger XG than them because we've had so many opportunities to score goals and we just haven't done it. There's been so many bad misses over the last first 2 games, isn't there? So, yeah, for me, if this was a genuine option that we could do, I would do it. Do I think Ivan Toney will join Manchester United? I think as it stands at the moment, it's probably unlikely. But obviously, if, as I said, Jadon Sancho does leave for real money, you know, for 30, 40 million euros, then I would imagine Man United would want to strengthen in the attack. And I think, you know, a more older, experienced attacking player like Ivan Toney would be the perfect person to come in. Now, I know there's other players that people are going to mention, but you have to look at what's available. The only strikers that are really available at the moment is Ivan Toney, Victor Osimhen and Jonathan David. There isn't really anybody else on the market at the moment, and we're not going to get Osimhen because he's over 100 million. Jonathan David, I've not really seen anybody linked with him, and Ivan Toney, obviously, loads of people are linked with him. So yeah, we'll wait and see. But do you think Man United should go in for Ivan Toney? Like, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I'm going to wrap the video up here. I'll be back at 6 p.m. Have a lovely day, everybody. Please make sure to smash a like, subscribe to the channel. This has been Daily with Devil, and I'll catch you all later. Bye for now.